And now, it's the 5th Annual Bowl Show with host Han Vance and special guest Drew Mitten. Brought to you today by the new Georgia football book by Han Vance. Rick Dara, 15 Years in Athens. Available at silverstonepress.com.
Oh, baby, it's great to be back on the west side of Atlanta, Georgia. Hanish Vance with you. Han Vance in the house. I got my boy Drew Mitten riding shotgun today. How you feeling, Drew?
Doing well. Thanks for having me out here today, Han.
Great to be back with you. We're doing sound quality only. No pretty pictures this year. You don't get to see my face. This is the 5th Annual Bowl Show. Let me let you know I'm in a white Sony Michel jersey, and I polished my teeth for this. But we're going to go sound only. So listen up, kids. It's bowl season, one of my favorite times of the year. Happy holidays, everybody. Get your shopping done. We're going to jump into the college football playoff right away. We're not going to wait. But real quick, let me just do some orders of business, get these out of the way, tell you what's gone on, because the bowl season starts way back in December 17th. That's fall. It doesn't start in the winter, folks. It starts in the fall, way before Christmas. We had Grambling right here in Atlanta, the first game of the year, the Celebration Bowl, which is a national championship, folks. It's the HBCU, Historic Black Colleges and Universities National Championship. Grambling of Louisiana, great program. Got their 11th win, defeated UNC Central 10-9. This Yahoo for UNC Central, they score the would-be tying touchdown. He's all about me, right? Takes his helmet off, is pumping his chest, pointing to himself, running up and down the sideline, throwing Q's, which is the fraternity symbol. Gets penalized. They get pushed back. Because of the angle, there's a block, and you lose. Don't be about you, kids. It's a team sport. Similar thing happened at Georgia this year. I was up there throwing a party for the Georgia-Tennessee game. Rico McGraw takes his helmet off, resulting in the Dobbs nail boot. We lost the game because of this kid. He can't handle it. He's transferring out. Way to go, Rico. All right. Game 2 was the New Mexico Bowl. Got New Mexico's second bowl win in 50 years. Bob Davies' first ever as a head coach. Took out the TC San Antonio Roadrunners. My grandpa used to own an airport in San Antonio, by the way. Nice place. Big Taco, they call it. Las Vegas Bowl, you know what they call that. San Diego State was playing Houston and took them out. Houston was playing out without a coach. Tom Herman's moved on to Texas. And when you get a team without a coach, you know, unless they're a powerhouse like Georgia last year, you're probably not going to get the win. So San Diego State had their coach. They had Pumphrey, the running back, who became the all-time leading rusher in college football. Previously, bowl games were not counted in the great eras of like Herschel Walker and some runners like that. The bowl game yardage wasn't counted. So it's kind of weird because now the bowl game, the postseason is counted. They play longer seasons. They play so much longer. That's why you got a bum like Derrick Henry being the all-time leading runner in the SEC, for a year because he's playing like 15 games. Herschel's playing like 10. App State. Why did you do this, Greg McGarity? We're opening with App State next year. They beat Toledo to get their 10th win. If Tennessee hadn't fumbled this year, they would have hadn't fumbled and got a touchdown off the play. They would have beaten Tennessee. They beat Michigan when Michigan was like number 3. Why in the hell are you scheduling App State, McGarity? Because you don't know football. You're a tennis guy. Go wear your sweaters and get out of here. Why are you doing that? We're going to open the year next year. App State, then at Notre Dame. App State benefits us in no way. If you're going to play a mid-tier team, don't go play the best mid-tier team like ever. That's not smart, Greg. Arkansas State took out UCF. There was only 41 yards of rushing in the whole game. Then we had a big mismatch. Tulsa, 55-10 on 6-6. They got all these 6-6 teams, and even some cases 5-7 teams this year, Drew, because they have to fill these bowl slots. I mean, look at the board. Look at our board. It's massive. So sometimes you get a 6-6 team and they play well. Sometimes you put a 6-6 team in, and what happens is you can tell that they didn't belong in this bowl. That's what happened here. They were playing a team with 9 wins, and Tulsa put 55 on them, the Golden Hurricane. Memphis and Western Kentucky in a shootout. The Hilltoppers are an explosive team. Don't go scheduling Western Kentucky. That's a perfect example who you don't want to schedule. So that gets us to about where we are as we record, but we want to make this topical and interesting throughout the entire postseason, throughout the whole holiday. So come and listen. Come back. Don't go away just because we're talking about something that's already happened. You're going to miss all the fun. Drew, who'd you grow up rooting for?
I'm a Buckeye man.
He's everything Buckeye. He knows it all on the Buckeyes. I wanted to bring in a little Northern influence because the Big Ten was so strong this year. This is not technically an edition of Southern Sports Roundup this time. We're just going national. The SEC is a little diluted in our bowls this year because we got so many teams in, 12 teams. When that happened 2 years ago, we didn't fare so well. Only one of the SEC West teams got a win that year, and I believe it was Arkansas, and all the SEC East won, but we didn't have too great of a time. Then last year, SEC won the bowl challenge. That's which conference has the best winning percentage. And I know you were talking to me off air about the Big Ten has some challenges out there.
Absolutely. I actually, going through these bowl games, I didn't pick many Big Ten teams that I would have liked to pick this year.
I'm picking way less SEC than usual. Back in the day doing the show, Wayne Gandy and I were basically picking every SEC team. Of course, we were at the time doing a 1 hour SEC football show, but the SEC was that much better. And with 12 teams in, we've got 5 and 7 teams making bowls. I couldn't pick that many SEC teams. We're going to get to all the picks. We're going to pick every bowl. Today, we've got the Stormin' Mormons, BYU, facing Wyoming. The Cowboys finally had a good year, got 8 wins. I like BYU to get the 9th win. Mike Bobo's coming up, Colorado State at Idaho. But, it's the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, kids. Everybody loves that one. Played in Boise on the blue turf. So Idaho's kind of got a home game. I'm going to go ahead and pick Bobo just because it's Bobo. Went to Georgia. We're getting down to about 5 minutes left in this segment, and we're going to pick the playoffs right away. Nope, I said it wrong. Playoff. There's only one game, kids. This is not a legitimate college football playoffs, and I've said it since the inception of this concept. This is BS to replace the BCS, you see? So check it. Eastern Michigan versus ODU. I'm going with Overdose. Old Dominion going to get to 10 wins in Nassau, Bahamas. Sign me up. I want to play a bowl game in the Bahamas. I'll play anyone right now, right here. Get me on the plane. I don't care who we face. Me, Ray, Drew. Hey, guys, I'm open on the curl. I mean, you know. Would you rather go to Detroit or the Bahamas for your bowl game?
You'll find me in the stall every time.
Right? Then we get my former hometown where I lived till I was 5. The Midshipmen. Navy's going up against La Tech. When I was a football player in 8th and 9th grade team in Jonesboro, Louisiana, 3-time state champs, Jonesboro. 3-time back-to-back state champs, back-to-back-to-back. We were recruited, or whatever you want to call it, pre-recruited, and actually toured La Tech. And I was like, man, there's no way I would go to school up here. Because I was used to South Louisiana. I was looking at maybe playing for the Raging Cajuns, which was then Southwest Louisiana in basketball and football, because I was, better than a lot of the guys I played with or whatever at the time. I knew I wasn't like destined to go play for LSU. You know what I mean? I knew I could walk on wherever somewhere, but I was looking at, schools like Valdosta State size and stuff, and then I just,
NFL machines.
Yeah. I mean, but guys go to the pros from these little programs.
Absolutely.
So here's what's going on with Navy. I went to a big party for the Army-Navy game. These guys get down. I didn't know that was that fun. I knew it was fun. I didn't know it was that fun. I'm hanging out with my Vietnam veteran buddy, Ray, doing down-downs, like daytime, like early evening hangover commencing immediately after. They're playing without Will Worth. He was leading the NCAA in touchdowns this year. This guy's a total stud. Looks it. Walking around on crutches. Their running back went out too. They had no offense against Army, so look for La Tech to go ahead and take that one. I like La Tech's uniform coloring, by the way. It's crisp. Troy and Ohio. Who you taking in this one? It's earlier, but would you take Ohio in that one?
I'm absolutely going to take Ohio.
I'm going dirty south on that. I got the Trojans with 9 wins. Ohio has 8. Playing in Mobile, Alabama. Mobile was the capital of French Louisiana, by the way, not New Orleans. Factoid. Honolulu Bowl. I'm also available to play in this. Let me know if you guys need a walk-on who has 4 years of eligibility, and you got to pre-admit me to your grad school. Is what we're going to have to do to get me in there. Who was playing in beautiful Honolulu? Hawaii. at 6-7, but you still get a bowl game playing Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State's a much better team, and Hawaii's going to get all the calls. I'll go ahead and take the former Rainbows, then Rainbow Warriors, now just the Warriors. I'm taking the Warriors to get to 500 with some bad officiating. Not on the Big Island. That's a miss thing that people say. The Big Island is Hawaii. I've toured it with my wife. It's Hawaii, the Big Island. The most populated area, Honolulu, is not on Hawaii, kids. It's in Hawaii. All right, St. Petersburg Bowl is going to be where Drew jumps in with me and starts picking. Next seg, let's go ahead quickly and just pick. We don't have to elaborate too long. You can elaborate later and talk as much Buckeyes as you want. But who you got in the Washington-Alabama game? I'll go ahead and let you know I'm leaning Tide on this one.
I am absolutely leaning Tide on this one. I think it's not even going to be a close contest. Washington has 3 out-of-conference games they've played this season. That was Rutgers, Idaho, and Portland State. Yes, they won by an average of 39 points, but I don't think they're going to be able to handle this Nick Saban coach team that's had a lot of time to prepare.
Great Pac-10 team, though. It's nice to Pac-12, excuse me. It's nice to see Washington back. I like those purple and gold uniforms. They sailgate. Any school besides Tennessee that sailgates, I'm down with. Take a boat to a game. I've never done it. I'm available. Sign me up. Isn't that cool? I like what they've done at Washington. Now, let me let you know that I think Peterson is a Saban, Urban Meyer level great coach, though.
He is
and
very
what he did at
talented.
Boise State, he's the man, and he knows.
Watch out for those trick plays.
He's saying we're going to lose. I guess we're going to have to hold off for just a second, but let me just get your pick, and then we'll elaborate. Who you got in the Ohio State game, Drew?
I'm going Ohio State on this one. Cover the spread and everything.
Interesting. We'll be right back.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old. Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Happy birthday, dear Smokey.
Happy birthday, Smokey Bear. The great outdoors and everyone in it thanks you for 70 years of wildfire prevention. For safety tips, visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state foresters, and the Ad Council.
You might know me, I'm 50 Cent. You may follow my tweets, my Facebook friends. Odds are fewer than 6 degrees separate us. We're that close. What's crazy is 1 in 6 don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. Hunger's too close for us to ignore. So visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank to see how you can make a difference. From one close friend to another, let's do this. I'm 50 Cent, and together we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You must be your fairy godmother?
Cinderella's dream comes true because the glass slipper fits.
It fits.
In our world, the right fit can be just as important, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose a car seat that's the right fit for your child's age and size to make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely every time.
Hop in, dear. Thank you.
For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. This message has been brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's not always easy being a dad.
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now. What? What do you mean she's not coming?
But it's always worth it.
It's very precious.
It is I, Cruz Zinklebell.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
So you take the mouse and click over there, and then you can choose someone you want to call.
My niece. I click here?
Uh-huh.
This is Louisa. Recently, she got help going online to chat with her family back home.
Okay, so then you want to hit that green button.
This is her first time on the internet and her first time seeing her niece in 5 years. Louisa doesn't know what to expect.
Louisa? Oh my gosh, there she is. This is amazing.
It's so good to see you. You look so pretty.
But this is definitely way beyond.
Oh my gosh.
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. That's 1-855-387-9166.
Oh, I've missed you.
Oh, me too.
Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
All right, let me see hands up in the air. Yeah. All right.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
What's up?
Hey, yo. What up? Hey, yo. What up?
3-dub rolling, Atlanta, Georgia.
What up? Hey, yo. What's up? Hey, yo. What up? Shut up, braga, get clap.
Blam.
Like sound sensitive light when you
Han Vance with you. I got Drew with you. We in the studio, you know. And we're talking about, whoa, Nelly, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. When the sun sets just so much out in Pasadena and the air has that golden quality, you can't recreate that, folks. It's magic. There are many bowl games this year. It's being said wrongly by the media, and you know I won't stand for that. There are 42 total bowl games. All college football games count as bowl games. Get it right, ESPN. So there's 41 games plus a championship. According to my math, that's 42. There are 42 bowl games. Statistically, anything done in the playoff or championship game is regarded as bowl stats. Just so you know. In the 1941 season, Georgia made a bowl. We faced my parents' alma mater, or future alma mater, I guess, the Texas Christian University Horned Frogs in our very first bowl game, the Orange Bowl. Frank Sinkwich, our first Heisman winner, went for 365 on them. 1 yard for every day of the year in total yardage. He played some quarterback and running back that first year before Charlie Trippi joined up in the dream backfield, won the national championship the next year. He won the Heisman. We got it going that day. First day of the year, 42. Next year, we were in the Rose Bowl, beating UCLA, winning the national championship. Georgia's faced TCU 3 times. We've put up 40. We've put up 34. We've put up 38. We may need another big score this year to outpace that spread attack, especially because we've had some matriculation and transferring and things of that nature of defensive backs, to where we're not sure exactly who all is going to be in like dime packages and things like that. We know guys that are like ready, but they haven't proven it on the field. We're not going to yank red shirts off of Mecole Hardman at this point. We're going to wait for LeCount 3 and Mecole Hardman to get it on in future years. By the way, Nick Saban is probably the greatest coach, but I think Urban Meyer is. Because when they match up, Urban has the edge. He's had the edge, and he has the edge, and he proved it a couple years ago. What do you think about here's my 5 coaches. Number 5, I got Mark Richt. Consistency, dependability, durability. He hasn't won the national championship. He's done everything else, but he's done it a long time. Bob Stoops at 4. Chris Peterson, I got at 3. Nick Saban at 2. Urban Meyer at 1. I'm not so interested in your 5, but would you have Dabo Swinney in the top 10?
I would.
Yeah. Would you have him in the top 5?
I think I would probably find him, if not 5, maybe 4.
He makes a strong case for 4. I don't buy into these bad haircut coaches. I know it's wrong, but get a real great clips. Why, Dabo? You can't dance, B. No, but he's a good coach, man, and they're really proving it over the long haul. Last time we met up with them, we blew them out. They haven't choked it up since then.
No,
they've
been
pushed
a very
Bama
program.
to the wire. Saban's most shining moment in his whole career was that onside kick. By far. The dynasty was over and had been over for 3 years. Instead, it was reinstated and is about to be an 8-year run where they're getting 6 of 8. It's ridiculous what's going on at the University of Alabama. But hey, Tide fans, as soon as he leaves, you're done. It happens every time. It happens everywhere. It's very rare that you're going to get a sweater vest Jim Tressel replaced by Urban Meyer.
A greatest blessing in disguise at The Ohio State.
Exactly. And blessings in disguise is a great way to live your life, folks. Live and roll with the punches. We all fall down. We fall. Get up. It's New Year's. Dust your shoulders off. We are living, for me, this is great because I'm living in the world capital of college football, baby. Atlanta, Georgia, the most important city in America. Maybe not the world, but I think it's the damn most important city in America. I love Atlanta because it's got so much energy. It's got so much heart. It's got so much vibrancy. And it's still Old South in its ways. It's still got all that Southern charm, even though some people fail to see it because it's so urban. Urban Meyer has a shot against Saban. I don't know. Dabo's biggest shot is Clemson's not as good as they were last year.
No.
Not even close. They had some great defenders like Shaq Lawson who aren't there. They replaced 8, I think, starters on defense. Those guys have played up later in the year. They're doing pretty well right now.
That defensive line is top 2 in the nation in sacks and tackles for a loss.
Statistically, great point. Statistically, they are doing exactly what they did last year. And keep in mind that Bama-Clemson game was a shootout. It was not a low-scoring game. So Clemson, I'm really intrigued with 3 teams in the playoff. I want to see who faces Bama and who beats them, and both have a legitimate claim to beat them, with Clemson having faced them last year and lost on 1 play. With Ohio State having beaten them the year before. Ohio State is nowhere near the caliber of team they were when they won the national championship.
No, absolutely not.
So I'm seeing deficiency offensive line with a lot of sacks in the Michigan game, the Penn State game. That doesn't bode well for facing Bama. The fact that Washington didn't play well against Colorado for stretches of that game doesn't bode well against Bama. You don't get over these mistakes with them.
No, one thing you can count on when you're going to play Bama is you're going to have to watch that defensive line come after your offensive line, particularly if Ohio State finds the matchup with them.
They're in the backfield.
Isaiah Prince, our right tackle, he's going to have his hands full all day.
He's either going to have a game of the year, or they're going to lose the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's point blank and period. I'm going to go ahead and pick Clemson based on Deshaun Watson and the experience and the momentum there. I think, oddly, Urban has a better chance against Bama if he gets through because he has the mental edge on Saban. He really does. He has the mental edge on Saban. We got some other New Year's Six Bowls. The New Year's Six Bowl. I went to the Peach Bowl 2 years ago and saw Texas Christian University. Again, this is a great bowl for me, what I'm going to this year in Memphis, because my parents went to TCU. My mom and dad met at TCU, as well as my aunt and her husband. So it's a family school. We've never had quite the family rivalry like this, like Life University, to a lesser extent Texas A&M, Rice. These are family schools. But we've never had a matchup in our lifetimes of TCU and Georgia. So this is like epic in my family. I wish my daddy was here to see this. They're 6-6. I'm scared, though, because he's a great bowl coach, and it would be not crazy to see a top 5 with Gary Patterson. I know you respect him a lot, Drew.
Absolutely. I really do. I think he's going to bring that program around, and they'll be competing with Tom Herman next year in the Big 12.
Well, last year TCU takes Oregon out in the biggest comeback in a bowl. My buddy Richard Silverstone, who works with me in my books, was out there. He's a big Duck fan. So that was family matchup kind of in a way, because he's like family to me, like a second dad. And that was a great comeback. The year before, they killed Ole Miss, and I was there. They're 6-6. They played really poorly down the stretch. I'm picking Georgia in that game. You're picking Ohio State in your game. We'll try to save some time for the end to just talk our schools and talk our programs. And I'm glad to have Drew here to kind of represent the North, because we've been a little Southern leaning on Southern Sports Roundup. I'm not, obviously. And it's kind of cool to have a Big Ten guy in the studio. And maybe Drew will be back with me next season and we'll do some more stuff for you. Sorry I've been away so long. Did have a book come out this year, folks. That's Richt Era, 15 Years in Athens, came out November 11th, the day before we shut down Auburn again. I was there with my brother Johnny. Debuted at Avid Bookshop in Athens, Georgia. It's available there and at silverstonepress.com. It's a short book, which is the trend in publishing. It's a short book on the 15 years in Athens of Mark Richt. It's about the team, about the program, not so much the coach, but in the coach's time frame. So New Year's Six bowls, there's a few of them. The Peach Bowl is counting as one. That's the earlier game. They're not playing bowls on New Year's Day. It's a travesty. It's a crime. NFL, shoot yourself. The Peach Bowl, UW is going down to Bama. The Sugar Bowl, SEC didn't have any good teams this year. Second teams, we had one great team, no really, really good teams, and then a lot of pretty good teams. So 8-4 Auburn is playing Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl. We've picked the Fiesta. I had to go Clemson. You had to go with your Bucks. Now, we've got Auburn playing Oklahoma. And if you guys hear that rooster crowing in the background, that is live and real. We're not at a Carolina game. This is the Goat Farm, Armada FM Studios in the rugged Atlanta West Side. It's still got some Southern qualities in Atlanta, folks. You hear a rooster crowing in the background. Or a cock, if you will. That was Ray Redding, my lovely producer. The Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. I hate Penn State. Georgia beat Penn State with our interim coach last year. What you got on Penn State? They're facing USC, who's hot.
Yeah, I think USC, I don't think anybody wants to play USC right now. Sam Darnold took over that team halfway through the season, and since then, they've been on a great roll.
Well, I used to be a semi-professional college football gambler, and when you bet early in the season, I have a slogan for it, you're betting on the name, not the game. So that was a crazy line that Bama wasn't favored by more against USC. They had like an all-new offensive line at USC and an untested quarterback. Once they got things figured out, the Bama game would be much closer against USC now. USC would actually have a shot.
I do think
against anybody, even Bama. They're going to win the game, I think. I think pretty clearly I'm going to go ahead and pick them. Although Penn State did win the Big Ten, you know, what they did, they should have got a worse penalty, y'all. No one asking for leniency on them is in their right mind. They should have been punished worse. They shouldn't be winning the Big Ten a few years after what they did. They should have been decimated so much that they couldn't be back this quick. Why did you let them off early? Why'd you let them off easy? I would have blown the effing stadium up. Okay? That's one extreme. And what you guys are on the other extreme. Don't worry about what they did to those children. Just get the guys out of there and just football as usual, business as usual in Happy Valley. It's wrong. Orange Bowl, Michigan and Florida State. This is going to be a good one we're going to save. I think Auburn and OU is a very intriguing matchup also in the Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl's a great one.
Let me try.
Okay, just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency. And 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to today's lottery drawing. And today's winning numbers are not yours, not yours, and another number that's not yours. And the final number is not yours.
When it comes to having money, don't rely on luck. Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering it. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Oh! You are round MVP.
Yeah, man. Yo, Drew, I finally got round MVP. Round MVP.
No way. That was some ownage.
Finally earning round MVP takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Hey, there's my son.
Hey, Dad.
What's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Well, it's just sort of.
Hello, Dad.
Susan? Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and maybe see some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are a waste, a loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I wanna lose my mind. I wanna rock and roll all night. Like it's 1975. When all the kids were cool.
I'm breaking all the rules.
Fast times get me high.
Sing it, Tuck.
So take me back in time
to 1975. Woo-woo. I was 5. I was getting down. That was 7 years before my prime. I peaked when I was 12, Drew. I was the man in middle school. Then I got up to Georgia and got my swerve on. Georgia didn't make the Sugar Bowl. We got that UGA, those 3 letters in the middle. We like to spell it with a small S and a small R. Not this year. We actually could have if we just got it together and won the Vanderbilt homecoming game when I was there explaining what losing and crowd jeering is to my daughter. Won the Tennessee game when we lost in the Hail Mary. Won the Ole Miss game when we were the better team, but trailed 45-0. But Ole Miss didn't make a bowl, folks. I'm there on magazine assignment hanging out with my good friends. Hey, Brett. Hey, Holly. Thank you guys, the Prathers, for having me up. I slept in an Ole Miss-themed room.
That must have been disgusting.
It was cool. It was just like full immersion into fan territory. We got some bowls to pick, and we're going to pick them quick. There's 10 bowls played in the state of Florida this year, 6 in Texas, 4 in California, and 2 in the ATL. Of those 42 total bowls. 6 teams from Texas made it. That's the most of any state. Only 3 from California this year. More schools from Louisiana went bowling than California. Keep in mind, to go bowling, you're talking 500 or above. And in some cases, 5 and 7 will get you a bowl because they have to fill these bowl slots. They have said no mas. Right now, there's a moratorium on creating more bowl games. So, like, for example, there's no bowl game in Austin, Texas. That would be a perfect place to play a bowl game. Got the massive UT Stadium. That's where I was born. Great city.
Warm weather.
Warm enough weather. World capital of live music, capital of the world. You know, who wouldn't want to go see a show and hang out in the Longhorn Stadium, eat barbecue, hook 'em horns, and watch, you know, Texas if they were bad, Texas A&M in the Longhorn Stadium or something like, you know, it could be some cool matchups. They can't do a bowl there, even though that's like the best economy of any city in America right now. Atlanta's doing great. We love it here in ATL. As long as America's not totally effing up, we roll. Well, you know, you all pull us down sometimes, we'll pull you back up, baby. Let's pick them. And let's pick them quick. What you got, man? Where you want to go? Let's get these. You want to do the CFP and just knock it out? Sugar Bowl, Auburn, Oklahoma, intriguing matchup. Who you got?
I'm taking Oklahoma. Auburn's badly injured, and I think Baker Mayfield and Dede Westbrook have a big game.
Yeah, Westbrook is an amazing deep threat receiver. Baker, man, he's tough. They're up and down though. You never know what you're going to get with Oklahoma. Honestly, they're favored. That to me, that doesn't bode well for them in this game. I see Auburn getting better and getting past them.
You think so?
Yeah, just the SEC's going to win some games. They're going to win some big games. Auburn, when you don't think they're going to do it, they're great. When Auburn's riding high, just wait. They're going to fall.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that.
So
game.
I'll go ahead and call that one. Even go with the upset there. The Cotton Bowl. Row your boat. Western Michigan against Bucky Badger, which is a weird mascot for a league that has the Buckeyes also, for your Badger to be named Bucky. Wisconsin, I've seen them play live against Georgia in the Outback Bowl. We smoked them. Western Michigan is undefeated. Who you like?
I'm taking Wisconsin. I think Paul Chryst is going to get creative with those offensive packages, and TJ Watt is going to be flying in the backfield.
Had the Western Michigan coach departed, I would have gone against them. They're an undefeated team of destiny. Row your boat. I'm going Western Michigan. We've picked the peach. We've picked the granddaddy of them all, and we've got the Orange Bowl left. This is a cool game. My buddy Tom is the heads up a season, that documentary I was telling you about on Showtime. And that's where they followed Notre Dame for a whole season, kind of like Hard Knocks. He's a Florida State guy, and they did Florida State this year. You know, he's excited to be playing Michigan. They're favored by a lot, though. Why are they favored by so much? I think it's because Michigan may not be happy to be there.
That's possible. I think I've got Michigan on this one, though.
I'm taking Michigan.
Yeah. I think Dan Brown gets it done with that stout run defense and forces the Florida State QB to throw the ball, and I don't think they're going to like that.
Anytime Florida State hasn't lost for a few weeks, they immediately matriculate up to like number 2 in the country, and they've done that for 20 years or so. They've done it for a long, long time. We're done with the New Year's 6 bowls. I'd love to get back to a big bowl, dogs. 7 and 5 doesn't qualify you for a big bowl. Let's do this thing. Pack the bowl. Let's get there.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. Let's just go on down it. You want to just go in order, my brother? Let's go St. Petersburg Bowl. They put this garbage-looking crap turf in on this non-football stadium that used to be the Thunderdome. It's the worst-looking field. Look for that, folks. It's worth turning on just to laugh at the field. It comes at 11 a.m. the day after Christmas, Boxing Day. Mississippi State Bulldogs have Fitzgerald, that great running back, facing Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio is trying to go one game above 500. If Mississippi State wins, they're still sub 500, but they won the Egg Bowl. Who you got?
I'm taking Mississippi State.
Dogs all the way there. Boston College, Maryland, 6-6, 6-6. I will abstain from picking this game.
I will be taking Boston College. Eagles have the 7th-ranked defense in the country, allowing 106 yards rushing and passing per game. I'm taking Boston College.
Sold. Just kidding. I'm taking BC. NC Vandy, 6-6 again. But I'm excited about this one because the Pack won the Tar Heel Championship, played well at the end. Vandy is the champions of the state of Tennessee, Vols. This is your dream team season. Next year's champion. Those stickers didn't turn out to be true. You are next year's non-champion of your state. I'm going to go with Vandy.
I'm going to take NC State on this. They've got the 3rd running back in the ACC, but I am looking forward to the matchup between...
And the ACC has some good backs.
They do. They really do.
Dalvin Cook.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the matchup between NC State running back and the Vanderbilt first-team All-American linebacker, Zach Cunningham.
The Heart of Dallas Bowl, played in the old Cotton Bowl. We've got interesting matchup if you went to those schools or happened to fight in the Army. Army versus North Texas, who you got?
I'm taking Army. I know North Texas beat Army 35-18 on October 22nd, but Army committed 7 turnovers that game. I think they turn around and hold on to the ball to defeat North Texas.
Great factoid. I would have taken them because my grandfather fought in World War I and World War II for the Army, and they did win, not the trophy. They didn't win all the Air Force took them out for the Commander-in-Chief trophy, but they did beat Navy. They're riding high, and I think that means they'll slip. And if you lose to one team bad, you're probably going to lose to them again. They might have forced those turnovers. I'm going to go with North Texas. Army and Navy just didn't have anything last week or a week ago. They just didn't have any offense. Wake Forest is 6-6, getting Temple 10-3. Temple's coach is out of there?
Temple's coach is out of there. He has moved on to Baylor.
Yeah, and then there was the Wakey leaks where Wake's former assistant coach, media guy, was selling plays or giving plays away. But Temple's 10-3. They're pretty fast. 6-6 Wake. You going Temple?
I am going Temple. They've got 2 running backs with almost 1,000 yards. I think they keep it on the ground and take it home.
Fast Philly kids. They're actually fairly athletic programs. Surprisingly, they didn't get any love this year. They won 10 games. They're going to win 11. Golden Gophers, they were like boycotting this game. And the Holiday Bowl is usually a good bowl in San Diego. I love sunny San Diego. Love to party there. Minnesota, Washington State. Washington State had a decent year. They're both 8-4. Minnesota had bad mojo going on in the program right now. Is that pushing you to Washington State?
That is. It really is. I don't like I think that program is lacking leadership right now, and I don't like that going into a bowl game.
Well stated. Washington State, kudos on a good year for you. That is a good year at Washington State gets you fired at Georgia. Boise State, 10-2. We talked last night about what a program they have there. They're playing Baylor. Talk about bad mojo. You were 6-0. You're 6-6. Playing at 10-15 in the desert in the middle of the night in Phoenix. Who you like?
I'm taking Boise State.
All the way. This is the lock of the year.
All day.
Okay, folks. I had my lock last year was Mississippi State. I try to give you one every year that you can bet the house on. And I've never missed on it. Bet it on Boise. I don't even know what the effing line is. Take Boise.
Boise's got Jeremy McNichols, 5th leading running back in the NCAA right now.
They had a down year at 10-2, and they're about to win 11. They are a great program.
And their 2 losses are combined by 9 points. So even their losses, they look great.
Yeah, although there are no good losses. But that's true. Northwestern 6-6 playing Pitt. Pitt's pretty strong offensively. Their offensive coordinator is maybe who Georgia should have taken. He's finally gone on to greener pastures. So they're out there play caller, but who do you like in that Pitt matchup?
I do like Pittsburgh. I love Pat Narduzzi and that quarter scheme he's brought to Pittsburgh, and they've been recruiting very well there.
Boogie down Bronx. That's played in New York, baby. It's not going to be tropical. But Miami is a tropical, and they're 8-4. They have Coach Mark Richt. I love you, Mark Richt. They're playing West Virginia, who's very good this year. 10-2, intriguing matchup. Rick's a great bowl coach. He had the best winning percentage in the SEC of bowl coaches by far. The whole time he was there.
Great bowl game coach.
He's a great bowl game coach. He's a great coach to hang out with for a month. I'd love to have Mark Richt in the University of Georgia program as a future athletic director if he'd take it. They should have said, take it now, Richt. Bring somebody in to help you, with the football team. If you don't get it done in the next 2 years, one way or the other, stay with us, and you're moving upstairs, we're giving you the AD role now. How about that? That would have been a better way to treat the man. Kirby's got to get it going. Who you got, Miami or Westpha?
I'm taking West Virginia. I think they control the game on both lines of the scrimmage, and I think they run away with this one.
Just out of love, I grew up in high school as a Miami fan and almost went to Miami. I love Rick. I'm going to take him, but honestly, Westpha has a great chance to beat him. Now, that's who beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, though. And rigged in payback games. There's something there. There's something there. It's in Orlando. Feels a lot more like Miami than it does like West Virginia. I think after playing in a Snow Bowl last year and really hating it, out in the Sun Bowl, it's cold as crap. I say it every year on the show. It's cold as crap in West Texas this time of year. It's not cold in Orlando, my former hometown from 1995. I'll go ahead and take you, Rick. I know you're going to. That's a toss-up. I'll take you. Santa Clara, California, Indiana 6-6, Utah 8-4. I bet we're agreeing on Utah here.
I'm not. I'm actually.
Nice.
Utes have lost 3 of the last 4 games, and while I don't like that Kevin Wilson has left Indiana, I'm still going to take Indiana.
Indiana's a little bit better than you think. I think the Big Ten is not as good as people thought this year. I thought it was a little top heavy, and they didn't know who that second tier team was. The second tier team was Penn State.
It is.
They won the Big Ten.
It is.
Indiana's 6-6. They're going to be 6-7. And I'm going to Graceland.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia? Let's do it. What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues? 7 no-hitters in 1990. Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year? The answer? 3 out of 4. 75%? That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
then
believe
what you're
this.
going to do is turn
Marcy
onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue
just broke up,
and go past
and apparently
the first 3
she's
lights,
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Then
think
drive
she's
5 more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park
anyway,
on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Rachel Ray, and food is not only the way I make my living, it's how I spend time with my family and friends. It's hard to imagine true hunger, but sadly, 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal will come from. They're your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger to find out how you can make a difference. I'm Rachel Ray, and together, we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking me.
Kids will spend 10 minutes copying everything their sibling says.
You're such a doofus.
You're such a doofus.
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Mom!
A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Make sure your child is up with the alarm and ready for school each morning, because missing just 18 days, even in middle school, will put their graduation at risk. It's up to you. Learn more at boostup.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present.
When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium.
When I grow up, I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
When I grow up, I want to be a fancy
When I grow up, I want to be a bike that races around the country. When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail. I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch. I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be a
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
It's great, this show, y'all. Our music is great. My daughter picked this song for us.
Love the Chili Peppers.
Especially their stuff with this guitarist, John Frusciante. He's a horrid junkie, but great guitar player.
Have you ever checked out his solo?
No, I'd like to hear it. I mean, he has a great feel and really emotive guitar player.
Very interesting, very spacey, experimental, technical too.
And this song is the great California, LA song, but I think of this for Atlanta for myself when I've had my troubled times and been wandering those streets. And it's like, this city's got me. This is me. I love you, ATL. I love you, America. You're in the world capital of college football, Atlanta, Georgia. We're on the rugged west side. I'm east side for life. Drew's a top towner. But we down here and we west side, y'all. We kicking this. We're 5 years into this bowl show. I love doing this. I love bowl games. If you're not getting excited about this, quit playing so much fantasy football and wake up. This is great, man. The history of sport in America is college football and baseball. Is pro baseball and college football, especially college football. This is America. Love it or leave it.
'Tis the season.
Love it or leave it. Georgia had an epic moment. We moved into number 2 on the most bowls appeared in list. Check this out. Texas got no bowl this year. They have 53. So Bama's in number 1 at 65 most bowls. Georgia has 53. Texas has 53. Get it? They didn't pass us. Nebraska State at 53. Tennessee got to 52. USC 51. Oklahoma 50. LSU 48. Ohio State and Penn State both 47. Most bowls appeared in. In most bowl wins, Bama's number 1 again. Shocker. 37. Georgia's number 3. You got Bama 37. USC 33. Georgia has 29 wins. Your Bucks are down at Buckeyes at 22, but you've got Oklahoma with 28, Penn State with 28, Texas 27, Tennessee 27, Nebraska 26, LSU 24. Georgia has the longest SEC bowl streak now at 20. Georgia is number 2 in the active bowl streak behind Virginia Tech at 20. If you are have a bowl vacated, if you're ineligible in a bowl, it doesn't count. That's what vacated means.
Great season.
Yeah, that's what vacated means for all you Ohio State and Florida State fans out there and in here. So Georgia, think about this. We're number 2, number 3, number 2, and we've got like 2 national championships to show for it, but they're old, 40 and 80. We've got only those couple recent SEC titles. In the history of bowl history, you could make a case for Georgia being the most consistent. Bama's probably who you'd go with, but they're not appearing in this current streak. They're way back there. They were garbage when Nick Saban came in there, and they want to forget and act like, I remember when Bear Bryant was there, my mom was there. I remember when Coach Perkins was there, we won it all, we cheated our butts off, and then Saban came in. No, that's not what happened. You were garbage. And you're going to be garbage again because that's what happens. All the good programs take a dip.
I'm sure they like to forget the Mike Shula days.
There was 5 coaches coming in and out. One of them never coached a game. He strip clubbed it once, and that was it. We got some games to pick. We really do have to drill through these. But if we have to go a little long here, we'll go a little long because we want to get it in. My grandpa's school, the Texas A&M Aggies, are playing Kansas State, who's been really scrappy in the back half of the year with Bill Snyder, the oldest coach, coaching. In the Texas Bowl in Houston, A&M does terrible in the back part of the year every year. Every year they say, but not like this year. This year they have the great defensive line. They'll be like 6-0, and then they're 8-4. Who you got?
I like Kansas State to be a well-coached team, but I think Texas A&M is going to be too much talent over there. It's going to be a high-scoring game. A&M to come out on top.
I like how you said that, and that's true. And it's not that Kevin Sumlin isn't a good coach. It's just this weird thing where they're getting too big for their britches every year, and they're getting brought down to earth in the reality of the SEC schedule. You don't just float through this SEC. One reason the SEC has so many 8-4-ish teams is because who do you think they're losing to? SEC teams. You know, there's a lot of packing. There's a lot of parity. Georgia is in a great place to make a rise.
SEC East.
I know Drew picked us to win it next year. SEC East next year, national championship year after. Mark it down, kids. We're not going to be ready to win it all next year when we're going to get edged by Drew's Buckeyes, I think, here in Atlanta in the national championship game in the new building. If those teams are there, Drew, I will buy you a ticket.
We're going.
Because I want to, yeah, we're going.
We're going.
You'll buy all the concessions, which is going to outprice the ticket. I forgot to mention that.
That's fine.
Okay, South Florida has a very fast team at 10-2. They're playing my classmate Will Muschamp, South Carolina in Birmingham Bowl. I wonder how many of our listeners out there in Radio Land could guess where the Birmingham Bowl is played. South Florida is 10-2. You taking them?
I'm taking South Florida.
Even my producer knows that. He's not a sports guy. He's a great producer. Ray Redding in the house. Ray. Va Tech is a good program, y'all. They have picked right up where they left off and are 9-4. They're playing my father-in-law's team. Hey, Colonel Buddy Buck, I love you. U.S. Army retired, Vietnam vet. Arkansas 7-5. Va Tech 9-4. In the Belk Bowl, Georgia was there 2 years ago. Put a whooping on Louisville. Chubb just smacked that booty. We're doing it. We were doing it with an interim offensive coordinator. This last year we did it with an interim head coach. Got wins in both. Who you got?
I'm taking Virginia Tech. Justin Fuente's done a phenomenal coaching job there.
I like that guy. He's a top 5-ish type coach. Sorry, buddy. Arkansas's not as strong up front as they have been. More of a pass happy, not running it enough, not running it effectively enough. Offensive line problems like we had at Georgia this year. We got help coming in, though. Isaiah Wilson, hello. I'm going to take Va Tech. I have to. Sorry, buddy. Okie State, Colorado, 9-3, 10-3. I think Colorado's happy to be there. I'm taking in the Alamo Bowl. This is usually a great bowl. I'm going to go ahead and just take the Cowboys.
I'm taking Okie State as well.
I've seen them live a few times. They put on a good show. I've seen them play Texas. I've seen them play Georgia. TCU, Georgia. I'm going to Graceland. Memphis, Tennessee. I'm saying doing some work for Bulldog Illustrated up there, folks. I'm going to be shooting the fan photos. Let's hear it again. I'm doing a travel article in Memphis. There's just kind of a counterpart to my piece, which was a travel to Oxford, Mississippi article. I'm really trying to broaden the cultural reach of these sports fans. I talk about the cities, I talk about the history, and then I talk about the football. It's a lot of fun. I'm going with my lovely wife, Jamie Buck Vance. We're staying in a pyramid on the Mississippi River, y'all. You know, I'm going to Graceland.
Going to Graceland.
Go Dogs! North Carolina, Stanford, 8-3, 9-3. Christian McCaffrey's not going to make it. He's going to practice or something. All yardage leader guy, the great all yards when you're talking about receiving yards, running yards, kicking yards on those returns. That's Stanford's going to miss him. They're solid. They're tough. North Carolina has no run defense, so I would have definitely gone McCaffrey, and I know you would have too. Who you got now?
I'm sticking with North Carolina on this one. They have a solid offense, and I think they find a way to outscore Stanford on this one.
Check it out. Cold as crap in El Paso every year for the Sun Bowl. One of the old bowls, those really old bowls, are the Rose, Sugar, Orange, Cotton, and Sun. So all the other ones are New Year's Six bowls now. The Sun Bowl is just kind of out there in El Paso. West Texas is way on out there, y'all. I love me some Texas people, but I don't know no West Texas people. So I'm not picking a team that doesn't fare well in the cold. I think it's Stanford is actually going to be more prepared and more coached and coached up without McCaffrey there. They're still going to get the win. Music City Bowl, Nashville. I thought we might be heading here. Tennessee's heading here. You failed, Vols. Nebraska 9-3, Tennessee 8-4. Who you got?
I'm taking Tennessee. I think Josh Dobbs is a liability, but still comes out with a win.
Was everything to them. He played great in that Georgia-Tennessee game. Georgia significantly outplayed them, with the exception of Dobbs. He played great in that game and was pretty much done from there. They pretty much fell on hard times, Butch. Why is Butch's face so freaking red, y'all? Nebraska is 9-3 and is better than usual. I'll take my mom's home state. I'll take Nebraska Cornhuskers, primarily based on the fact that I hate Tennessee and that I used to win so much money mid-90s on Nebraska that I just love money. South Bama is talented 6-6 team playing Air Force out in Tucson. I love me some Zona, too. I love America, y'all. Who you got in this game?
I'm taking Air Force. They've won 5 straight. They're coming off a great end to the regular season.
Commander-in-Chief Trophy, they're 9-3. They get that 10th win. South Bama's talented. They're 6-6. You know, you're 6-6.
They went 2-6 in the Sun Belt.
Right, but wait, we never did pick that Orange Bowl, did we? Yeah, we did. Who'd you get? Did we both go Michigan there?
I think we both went Michigan.
That's right. LSU, Louisville. Leonard Fournette not being there sounds like a big deal. It's not, because Geis has been doing it for him and is going to do it against Louisville. Louisville has the Heisman Trophy winner. They were in that WikiLeaks thing. And so Bobby P, man, we've railed on this guy forever. Bob Petrino is a joke of a character. a great coach, great offensive coach at Louisville. They said he had no knowledge of it and blamed it all on the on one of the assistant coaches, who they probably gave like $100,000 in a duffel bag and just said, "Shut up." Who you got?
I love watching Petrino lose on television. I'm going LSU.
Bayou Bengals. I'm going with them. That one's in Orlando, where I used to live. Citrus Bowl. Last time we were on the Citrus Bowl, when I was in school there, man, we matched up with this team from Ohio. Took them out. We've been there since, but that was my, last hurrah of my first early years in college. Garrison Hurst went nuts that game. I knew him. Kentucky and Tech. My son's safety school is Georgia Tech. They're my former employer. I like the Big Blue in this game.
I'm going Georgia Tech. I think the triple option, they have found that again, and I think that overwhelms Kentucky.
Going to be one of the shortest games of the year. They're two of the best running teams in the year. I'm taking Kentucky. Had a great year for them, 7-5. I think that's about all of them except for Iowa and Florida. Who you like?
I like Florida.
I love Jim McElwain. He's a great coach. I hate to love a Florida coach. Jim McElwain has a cool character and is just a cool guy. Do it with love. You don't have to be an a-hole. Do it with love. Be pretty pimpin'. Y'all, be pretty pimpin'. That's a message to all you kids. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Drew, what you got on these people? You love them?
I love them.
We love you.
Thanks for having me out here, guys.
This is great. Drew's going to be back with me next year. We're going to do bigger and better things in America next year. Do it your way, but make America great. Do it your way.
All I want is to just have fun, live my life like a